What's up guys, I'm Teslas, and today we're going to be looking at a Medieval 2 Total War battle replay. I fought in this battle, and the battle ended up being super close. They fell back to their town center, and it was just handfuls of men down to the wire. So I really wanted to show this to you guys. If you guys like this, I'll definitely make it a series to show off my battle replays. You guys don't necessarily have to send in battles. I would like it if you did, like via Discord. You don't have to send them in, but you can. But most of these battles are just going to be battles that I fought in that I thought I wanted to share with you. To start off, let's just look at the armies. So, I'm fighting as the Holy Roman Empire on attack. By the way, this is just a 2v2 siege, and it's pretty basic rules just to keep the battle from being, ridiculous. It's nothing special. No special rules. So, anyway, I'm playing as the Holy Roman Empire, bringing dismounted Gothic Knights. I know they suck. They're not that good, but I was sending them in as just like to push this. I know they were going to take a lot of casualties, so that's why I used them. So I got some just dismounted Gothic Knights pushing them. I got Imperial Knights, some armored sergeants in the front, more Imperial Knights as my main army corps, Pavese crossbows, some Gothic Knights, and General's Bodyguard, and a cannon. My general is not in my general's bodyguard, so you'll see where that comes into play later in the battle. Looking at my teammate Nasty Nate, who is playing as England, he's got stakes set up around as a defense. He has a cannon to just kind of batter their walls and make up holes. Then we got his main corps being dismounted English knights and armored swordsmen, some lancers, some billmen to back him up, and a bunch of retinue longbowmen, and also a mortar. He's bringing a mortar and a cannon, and some just retinue longbowmen. Then on defense, we have defending against Nasty Nate is Mr. Noble with Spain. He has dismounted conquistadors on the walls, just small amounts of them. Some let's see. Just some sword and bucklers, some pikemen, just kind of holding this gate, keeping them back, waiting to see what holes they open. So he seemed to go for more of an elite army, because he has some dismounted conquistadors in the base. They got their cannons back in the base, but he doesn't have that much of an army. He has some pikemen over here, a couple more sword and buckler men on these walls, but it's nothing crazy. Some Pavese. And then finally, the last army is the Papal States, being Future Films Gaming. He brought a pretty big army. He has Pavese crossbows back here on this wall, more Pavese crossbows, cannons, a bunch of them, 3 units of cannons, but Spain did not bring any. He has the General's Bodyguard back here in the town center. He has more Pavese crossbows, peasant archers. He brought a lot of crossbows in this battle, it seems like, so pretty much he's just a very skirmish-based army. So obviously I fought on this side, so I know what happens, but I do not know what happens on this side. So, let's see. Just 1 speed. I'm pushing everything up at the same time up to his walls. And he's just trying to take down my siege towers with fire arrows as fast as he can. Because if these siege towers, I only brought 3. I feel like I should have brought more. I was sending over some Pavese crossbows to help defend over here. I feel like I should have brought more siege towers, but they end up making it to the wall, and it really helps me out in this battle. Also, I get my cannon to start firing, taking down these towers and walls. England doing the same thing, except England did not bring any siege towers, or any siege equipment for that matter. He's just relying on his cannon and mortar to do all the work, I guess, and take down all of these walls. Get as many choke points open as you can. There you go. You see, a wall is about to collapse. If that collapsed, like these enemies, Spain has to get his infantry off these walls, because if they come down, there you go. He just lost a bunch of men right there. He has to get them off before they all die. Here you go. My siege towers are at the wall. There you go. Walls are coming down everywhere. England is bringing down so many walls right now. As you can see, I got my cannon firing over here to open up this wall, because I did not have a siege tower for this one, so I'm just going to open it up. I'm setting up my formation, my Steeltron formations of armored sergeants to back up my men if they need it. And then I'm moving up. My crossbows are right here to fire at theirs, and the rest of my army is starting to push up slowly. Papal States moving over units towards a bunch of archers. 4 units of archers are coming over this way. They got their Great Cross moving back, so they seem to really be falling back right now. There goes this gate over here where the Papal States are defending mostly. That gate goes down. This wall is opened up, and already a lot of enemies have died. A lot of defenders have been killed from artillery, so they have to... There you go, there's another wall. You can see more Spanish soldiers falling in. So they're losing so many men with this artillery. You can see, I break open this wall over here. There you go, that one is open. I start pushing up my cav, and here you go, my men are about to jump on the walls. Here they go. My dismounted Gothic Knights just to lead the charge, being backed up by Imperial Knights, which are better than the Gothic Knights. But they're just leading the charge, and they're there to push up the towers. They have taken casualties. There they are. They are getting quite a lot of kills on these crossbows, or these sword and buckler men, but they are sword and buckler men. They're not that great in melee. He's taken down his Pavi's crossbows, which I think was smart, getting off that wall before they get shot. My cannon is starting to shoot this wall over here. England is taking down the towers on the Spanish side, hitting the towers hard. He took down one. If he can get rid of those towers, he can push up his soldiers without getting extra arrow shot at him. Yeah, you can see the mortar shots coming in, unfortunately missing, but Spain is grouping up his men a lot here, so if we can get some good mortar shots, it's going to be really helpful. You can see my men are still waiting. I'm setting up my spears now onto the walls. That dude just got stabbed. My spears are now backing up my dismounted Gothic Knights, who are only down to 9 men already. But look at all of their bodies compared to ours. So far this wall is going pretty well. I'm pushing up my crossbows even closer so that they can get theirs that are falling back. They've fallen back to this street. For some reason, some of them have their swords out, so they're not firing. Alright, here they go. They're all starting to fire. My cannon takes down one of their towers because it was just laying into my men on this wall, so I had to take it down. I think I'll start shooting at this one now. These crossbows over here don't look like they're firing, but maybe. England firing at the other tower now, trying to take that down as quick as possible. England pushing up heavy billmen, 1 unit of heavy billmen and 1 unit of longbowmen up here. Maybe he's going to try to get these longbows closer so they can start shooting at this blob. That would be smart. See, the battle for this wall, it's starting to not go well. Before I had all my units right here and they were helping each other out. Now they're just starting to kind of come in one by one, and they're not doing it. They seem to be backing off the wall. They cannot take it. Maybe are they breaking? Yeah, my units just seem to be breaking. They can't fight. So this wall, they hold for a long time because my men just cannot fight. As you can see, his spears are holding this, his pikemen, sorry. But I hit him hard right here. I think a cannon shell may have gone in, or my arrows hit him. But Spain charged out some of his pikemen. I don't think that was a good idea because the pikemen obviously are good at their pikes, and he charged them out and got them to use their swords. I think if he just stayed back, kind of like in a V angle to the gate, he could have taken a lot more time. But I got my armored sergeants holding this gate in circle formation. They're going to fall back now to let them through to see if they charge out. I want my sergeants out of the way so my archers, my crossbows, sorry, can lay into them. But Spain leaves his men to chase down my spears. So they're far out of their gate now and they're alone. I can see on this wall I'm doing a lot better than I am on the other one. But I'm resending in my army on this one and they're starting to make back their lost progress. Taking down a lot of these crossbows that are holding. And I breached through this side, so I sent up my Imperial Knights to see what they can do. And I sent them down to go take down these conquistadors, and he had Pavi's crossbows over here. There they are, they fell back. So I'm sending these Imperial Knights over to kill these extra crossbows, and there's a fight going on with these Pavis, or these conquistadors. This wall has been officially cleared, except for one man, who is going to fight to the death. Just took down another Imperial Knight. One last man on this wall. Come on, you got this. The last man. There he goes, gets smashed by mace, and he's down. This wall is officially taken. Both of the towers are down right here. He has Pavi's crossbows up here in the middle, and he's marching over some more crossbows to back up the fight. All of them. I think he's pushing them up. My armored sergeants have won this battle, except for, yep, that's it. That was the last man. They won that battle, so now the gate is clear, and I can start using my crossbows to keep firing. Okay, here's the cool strat that I did. My general is not in the general's bodyguard, so I'm sending him up to try to help with this fight and take over this side so that we can kill these conquistadors. We can just flank them and kill them, because they're becoming such a problem holding back all these men. Chasing down a couple of Pavis. Another wall goes down. England is still bombarding their walls. Here we go. My general's bodyguard is coming in. Alright, let me pause it real quick just to see what England's doing, because it's hard to catch up with all this. Alright, so England just has some heavy billmen and some longbowmen firing over. These billmen are just here to defend the longbowmen in case the enemies, conquistadors, yeah, if the enemies charge out. It looks like they did charge out and lost this battle, and it looks like they broke and they're getting shot on their way out, you can see. So that was not very good for Spain right there. But they still have plenty of reserves holding this. England is just doing everything they can to still keep opening up walls. So England is taking it way slower than I am. Anyway, you can see I charged down all my men. So now I got fighting going on. They charged down their pikemen to take down my spears, but my spears are too close. They didn't have the pike formation, but now they do, so they're going to start chewing up my spears. My Imperial Knights are coming in, coming off the walls. I'm grouping them up right there so I can start the final attack. I lost here. The conquistadors still held the wall, and there's one crossbowman firing. Here we go. I got my general's bodyguard waiting here. So, to kill the general, they think that my general is in this unit. So, Future Films Gaming, as the Papal State, sent in his general's bodyguard. As you can see, which his general is in. He sends his general bodyguard to kill mine. And I didn't even realize that he was going to charge me like that, so I did not do a counter charge. But it will not matter. It seems like they did not get that good of a charge. So now, both of our general's bodyguards are in combat, except mine does not have a general, his does. So that's going to be really bad for him. He needs to keep his general alive. England being aggressive, sending in his heavy billmen as Spain completely retreats. I think Spain could have held that, but he... Alright, we captured the walls. Spain is completely retreating. I don't know why, but he's completely retreating to the town center. Some depleted conquistadors are coming back. Pavi's crossbow is holding the line. And there we go. So England is just, since Spain has finally retreated. England is just sending in all of his units here to push up this side so that we can attack at the same time. And still got more pikemen. I think they're retreating. Yes, they are. More pikemen are retreating, so it looks like Spain is doing a full retreat back to his base here. Breaking Imperial Knights that were trying to kill the conquistadors from behind did not work. They're coming back. I am chasing down, no, got armored sergeants, Imperial Knights that are pushing up to get ready to attack these Pavese crossbows. But half of my forces remaining, but it's alright because we killed the Future Films Gaming, the Papal States. We killed their general. He sent in his general to try to kill mine, but it was all a bluff. My general was not even in this unit, and we ended up killing his general in the fight. So at this point, I don't care if my general's bodyguard, breaks or dies. They did their job. They killed their general, and now his general's bodyguard is going to be depleted. He is without a general, and not too many men left. He does have a lot of crossbows left, but not enough infantry. So I charge in my spears and my Imperial Knights to take down his crossbows that are stuck on this road. We finally take this wall. Very close. There's 10 units left on this wall that broke my armored sergeants. But that's not too much of a problem. The problem is right here. He has a bunch of crossbowmen, so I'm getting my cannon to try to take down this clump of crossbowmen right here. That's continuing to fire down at my army. I do end up killing pretty much all of his crossbows right here. They're broken. Yep, they're falling back to their base. These guys are still wavering. They're wavering now. They're about to break. As you can see over here, he charged in his conquistadors, and they end up winning the fight, killing my general's bodyguard. But it does not matter because their general is dead. Cannon shot missing, hitting this. You see, Spain is continuing to send in all his men. Look at this. I needed this. So as you can see, the Papal States has a bunch of crossbowmen sitting here just destroying me. They've been here forever. So England sends in his dismounted English knights with their awesome halberds, such cool looking units. They sprint over here to take down these Pavese crossbows. Just coming in the wall, going that way. Sending in more armored swordsmen, longbowmen, lining up his army, fighting these Pavese crossbowmen who are trying to hold him off, but they are stuck in combat now. They can try to run away, but they'll lose a lot of casualties if they do turn around and run. Unfortunately for England, he could not attack this way. It was blocked off. That would have been nice for him to attack this way and flank, but he cannot do that. Papal States charging in more and more people. I got my Gothic Knights charging in as well. I don't think this unit, the 32 unit, I don't think that had my general in it either. But I charged in my Gothic Knights to finish off these Pavese crossbows who are low. They're depleted. We charge through, and I'm charging after their pikemen and crossbows because I do not want their pikemen holding us off at the end. That'd be really bad if we had to fight through their pikemen. England has their longbowmen also on this road firing down at their conquistadors. Here we go. I do chase down their pikemen, but they are able to get in pike formation, so I was really scared, but then they switched to their swords. So my horse is just charging through them, trying to take them down. I keep trying to go for these crossbows, but he sends out conquistadors, and I decide that I'm not going to, so I think I turn around my... No, I keep them charging. He sent his conquistadors this way, not going for my horses. But I cannot catch up to them before they get into their town center. So they do end up making it back, at least some of them. That one got cut down. Some of them end up making about, and he charged in sword and buckler men to take down my cav, and they continue charging. They do not stop. Charging to his dismounted conquistadors, getting a pretty decent charge there. Taking down quite a few of them. Bringing them down to 44 already. So, as you can see, basically we are in the city. He's just got a couple more crossbowmen here. I'm charging in. Wait. Spain's crossbows are leaving. These crossbows are now leaving, and I'm sending in all my units, all my crossbows to line up here. And I set them on fire at will to take down any units that were in range. This wall is now clear. I sent up my units on this wall to take down those Pavi's crossbows, and they're now coming down to line up. So as you can see, England is now in combat with these Pavi's crossbows who have no escape. I'm lining up my army for the final push. I think, yep, my cannon is now coming up to shoot at them in their base. Here's my general. My general is still back. I need to push him up for the morale. My cannon's coming up to shoot them in their town center. That's going to be really helpful. Got Imperial Knights outside of the city. That was a misclick on my part. But as you can see, they're forming a heavy defense inside their base here. Inside their town center, they got lines of spears. Look how cool that looks. Lines of spears holding. So me and England are just finishing off any extra units and lining up our soldiers for the final push. Spain is chasing down some archers with his pikemen, who are now getting completely flanked by English knights, and they're not going to escape. These pikemen are routing, but they're going to take a lot of casualties on their way out. My Gothic knights are breaking, but I think they will come back. There you go, these pikemen are instantly down to 5, getting shot at by archers. There you go, down to 4. England is just breaking through this thin line of dismounted conquistadors. Once they do, they'll be able to push up their units, and we'll begin the final assault. Just Pavi's crossbows getting back to their base everywhere. Their defense just seemed to collapse, and now they're all relocating back in their town center. Dismounted English knights pushing up, but they're taking a lot of arrow fire from their base. They still got a lot of leftover Pavi's crossbows, sword and buckler men. Yeah, they still got quite a few skirmishers. Look at that. They got their peasant archers right in front of their line, firing at my dismounted Gothic knights who are trying to retreat. There's only 2 of them left. They're getting hit hard from behind. They're not going to return to the battle. He's sending in his English knights, England, charging in the English knights to try to get rid of these peasant archers. Hopefully the enemy was not paying attention, and maybe he can catch them by surprise and get rid of them. But he just has so many laying into this unit. And they fall back. They're not going to do that. There's just so many casualties, they're going to fall back. Oh, they're charging back in, it looks like. Going for a different target this time. He seemed to stop charging him because of these spears. He goes right around the corner of the spears here, and gets in combat with conquistadors and pikemen, which is not very good for English knights. So now England is just going to be charging in unit by unit of infantry and hitting them hard with their longbowmen, just softening up this defense. They still have their Great Cross sitting in the middle of their town center. That's really going to help them. And they still have tons of cannons. They have 1, 2, 3 units of cannons just sitting here. His longbowmen just sitting right outside, taking a ton of hits though. Longbowmen just sitting here trying to take down these archers and spears. But they're alone, and they're getting hit hard by enemy fire. So they're going to go down really quickly. England just continuing to send up their English knights who crushed over here. I got all my crossbowmen right here with low ammo left, setting on fire at will, and they're all just sitting behind the buildings firing over. You can see the volley coming in. My crossbow volley coming in, hitting his men hard. But I'm just scared of this line of pikemen. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I have depleted infantry. I have a lot of crossbows left. I saved them. I still have 4 units of crossbows, pretty much full. but I do not have much infantry left. I have a couple units of Imperial Knights and Armored Sergeants, but that's it. I'm sending up my cannon down this road to get on this hill so they can fire right into the town center. England is doing everything they can to weaken this defense, but they're taking a lot of casualties of their archers. See, this archer unit went all the way down to 15 units left. See, you can see they're firing their cannons, just absolutely destroying. I think they're firing from my cannon. They see my cannon as a target because obviously they want the cannons. So they see my cannons are a target and they're firing back at them. More longbowmen over here. Armored swordsmen charging directly into the pikes. I don't know why England did that. I think he should have waited for my crossbows to soften them up a little, but he charges in a unit. Some of the swordsmen do slip by and get close and start taking down a couple of the archers and whatnot, but I think it's more casualties because the pikemen, they're so good at holding. England constantly sending up units down this road to see if they can just try to get past this flank, but they cannot do it. They are in combat with the general. The Spanish general is in this dismounted conquistador unit. Retinue longbowmen, I guess they were out of ammo, just sending them in to try to kill this general. I think, where is my... See, I got more Pavi's crossbows. I'm moving them up. I think they're out of ammo now, so I'm moving up all my Pavi's crossbows to prepare for the final assault. Along with my cannon. My cannon's getting in a better position. Here comes my general. I think that's my general. Yes, it is. There he is. My general's in position behind the buildings. My crossbows moving up for a final assault. His longbowmen moving up for a final assault. England just has so many reserves. He has more armored swordsmen. 3 units of armored swordsmen right there. More retinue longbowmen. A mortar crew that's out of ammo, I guess. But he's still fighting this general conquistador unit. They're just doing so good at slaughtering these retinue longbowmen. Some of them are bloody, but overall the longbows are handling a lot worse. Right behind them they got a unit of Pavi's crossbows, who are not out of ammo, they're still firing. Firing at their reserves. So here we go. I charge in my entire army directly at their spear line. I think that I'm just going to be able to overwhelm them. As you can see, England has taken a lot of casualties at this corner. Just a couple English knights holding off these sword bucklermen and dismounted conquistadors. Only one left. He's going to fight, but he got double teamed, and a conquistador slides his sword into him and cuts his head off. So there you go. England lost a lot of units right in this corner. Here's my general charging past, giving my men some extra. Here's my cannon moving it to right here. I'm letting my general stay close to my men to give them any morale that I can. I just got a huge blob of men right here. For the most part, everybody is out of ammo. England still has a couple more units that have their ammo right here. Still has a couple more units of longbows that are just firing back here to their cannons, which is very smart. I'm glad he did that, taking down a lot of his cannon crews. So you can see how many cannon crew units are dead. Sending up Pavi's crossbows to the wall right behind the town center. That's a very good spot for them. I'm slowly sending over my general to help England on this side, who cannot get past this flank. But I think at this point I was thinking, you know, I just don't know what to do. Like, there's so many defending units. I am blobbed up, but my units just will not have it. They keep breaking and then returning right to the battle. And they're just holding us off. England is very shortly going to be out of ammo. They still have some crossbow ammo, and there's so many of them, they're chopping down our men. Here we go. My general is killed. I sent in my general to try to kill his general and get rid of this unit that's just holding this flank, but unfortunately my general was killed. I'm doing cycle charges. I'm doing everything I can to just crush these conquistadors, but it's uphill, so they don't get a charge at all. By the time they get uphill, their charge is completely ruined, and they cannot really push in. So these conquistadors have a really good spot. They're just chopping away at my Gothic Knights, who are going to keep trying to do cycle charges, but they can't because of this uphill slope. He has a bit more ammo with these retinue longbowmen, who are just at a pretty good angle to shoot at these conquistadors, but as you can see, his general is bloody, but not dead. He had his general this whole time. He's got a lone cavalry right here, Papal States. At this point, his cannons are useless. All of his cannons have lost their crew. He charged in his Great Cross crew. Still armored swordsman battle fighting these sword and buckler men at this flank. And as you can see, all of my men just gave up. All of my men. There was a massive chain rout at this point. Still got a couple units of pikemen right here. England is also blobbing up their units, trying to push right through the middle. All of my units just gave up and ran. That was horrible. Now, with my units back there, they do outnumber us. England blobbing up his men, so if they still had ammo, his men would be getting destroyed right now, but unfortunately, they do not really have any more ammo. His archer towers right here. The keep towers are firing down, but that's about it. I charge in my Gothic Knights. With these charges, I've brought their conquistadors down to 19, but it just wasn't enough. His general is still alive, and I'm charging up my Gothic Knights just through to try to get behind. But he's charging in his crossbowmen to stop them, and at this point, my Gothic Knights have been slaughtered. There's only 3 left. So my Gothic Knights are dead. His his conquistador unit is very depleted now, but it's just not enough. He still has his longbowmen here, continuing to fire. Let's look at this volley. Now he's pushing him up. He's pushing up his crossbowmen to try to push through this flank once and for all. The enemies are very close to thinning out at this point. Just have a couple units of sword and bucklermen holding back this massive force of armored swordsmen. If they break and these armored swordsmen get through, it's over. But they're just holding as long as they can. England continuing to blob up here, but his men, a lot of them are leaving. A lot of his men are becoming depleted. He charged out crossbows to take on longbowmen, but they are getting chewed up. Another just killed. This one longbowman is going on a rampage, just took down 2. And the last one taking hits. He's getting 3v1'd right now, though. Nothing he can do. So that crosser unit is down. This longbow unit is alive, but they're out of ammo. I charged in my cannon unit, but they break. They're very depleted now. Here we go. My units did run away, but a lot of them came back, so I'm charging in my crossbows to help finally get through this flank. Retinue longbowmen charging in on this flank, just try to finish off what's over here. A very good charge, taking down a lot of crossbows. And his crossbows break. They only got to walk like 10 meters, though. He's got 10 units of peasant archers that still have ammo, but it's only 10 units. It's only 10 troops, sorry. This one horse is just killing man after man, but he's getting ganged up, and he's down. So as you can see, the retinue longbowmen have finally pushed through this back part and are starting to surround this town center, but they got skirmishers just chewing them up, trying to hold them back. And these longbowmen don't know what to do. They're just going to fall back. As you can see, this line is down to like 1 unit. So little units are holding back this back flank. I sent in all my Pavi's crossbows to just try to push through here. That you can see them. There they are, but they break once again. As you can see, this line is down to basically nobody, just a couple conquistadors. His general unit came over here to help save this line. Just 1 unit of conquistadors is holding back this flank. 1 unit of sword and bucklermen, down to only 17 is holding back this flank. They've taken the town center, they cleared it out, as you can hear that. England's longbowmen still have a little bit of ammo. They're firing down at these crossbows who are very depleted. Down to only, what's that, like 5? Yeah, 5. 4. Just got his crossbows sitting right here, firing at his last units. Horrible volley, and they all collapse right there. Only 1 man left. It's pretty much not even worth shooting at. But he's got 6 Pavese crossbows here, 10 peasant archers here, but they're all getting shot at. His archers are just surrounding them. Like 2 units of dismounted conquistadors that are very depleted, like 5 units each, are holding back this unit. There's like 3 units of swordsmen. But they fall back. They're falling back to their great cross to hold it with more morale. My cannon crew is back with only 4 men left. Sword and buckler men gave up. They went back to fight along with their general. And as you can see, where is he? There he is. They still got this one last unit of dismounted conquistadors charging in, taking down all of the swordsmen that they can. My cannon crew not doing anything, just sitting there for some reason. Longbowmen firing into the back, and the Spanish general has been killed. A dismounted English knight takes down their general. His armored swordsmen are breaking. He's switching to fire arrows to break their morale because they're next to the cross. Switching to fire arrows, see what he can do. Charging in my cannon crew. We cleaned up their unit of Pavese over here. Got 1 Pavese man. 1 Pavese soldier. Running back to his flag. But he's being chased down by a unit. And he is going to be killed. Fighting to the end. But he will be killed. He's got very little amount of soldiers just huddling over in the middle of the town center. More fire arrows coming in, just burning everybody. It's a 3v3. This conquistador comes behind and ends up slaughtering my cannon crew. My cannon crew is dead. They are down to only, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units right here. 7 units in the middle. Getting hit by fire arrows, firing right over them. This man is burning. They charge out, but they decide, nope, they're not going to do it because they're getting charged back by armored swordsmen who are very exhausted. Once again, they pushed us out the castle, but they just don't have the units to hold us back. All of our men are exhausted at this point, but they don't have the men to hold us. 2 conquistadors come to try to take down these armored swordsmen. Get burned. One of them gets burned. The other one gets burned by fire arrows as well. So 2 sword and buckler men now. The other one gets caught. They both get cut down. They're both going to be chopped down by these armored swordsmen. Only 5 left. Very last unit. Fire arrows coming in, just trying to kill him. And he is killed. We have won. We won the battle, but as you can see, there's just all that's left is a couple armored swordsmen and retinue longbowmen. That's really it. Most of our units were killed. A lot of my men were breaking. They were just coming back to try to end the fight. But England ended it too early. Pavese crossbows still breaking, probably wouldn't have returned. Same with my Imperial Knights. Same with these Pavese crossbows. So, very close battle. His units had infinite morale, so they kept breaking my units over and over again. But as you can see, here's the stats. I deployed 901 men. I lost 621. I had 280 remaining. I got 546 kills and 43 captures. England, deploying less men than me, 849. Losing less. He still had a lot of units left. 364 men remaining. He got 744 kills and 84 captures. Mr. Noble, as Spain, 769 men deployed. All 769 were lost, 0 remaining. But he got 839 kills and 50 captures, so good job to Mr. Noble there as Spain. I'm getting a lot of kills. His men fighting to the death. Future Films Gaming as the Papal States, 665 deployed, 665 lost, and 337 kills. So as you can see, I think they would have won, just they didn't. I don't know, I feel like Future Films Gaming defense just kind of collapsed. He had too many crossbows and he didn't have enough infantry to hold him back. But I think England did very well just pushing to the side, being very patient. Let's look at my units. Let's see who got the most kills. Let's see. 51 kills by my Pavi's crossbows there. These armored sergeants getting 0 kills. Wow. Yeah, my most kills seem to be 51 by these Pavi's crossbows. Men remaining, no Gothic Knights, only actually 4, but they were breaking or captured. Anyway, that concludes the battle. I want to thank you guys for watching. This was the first and maybe a series if you guys like it. I know I did. It was pretty fun narrating that or commentating on that. And I love Medieval 2. I love the Total War series. I just think it's such a fun game, and I want to keep playing these battles and commentating on them. So if you guys enjoyed, let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one.